Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Veteran, first responder, or a patriot looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we want to put the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to Playtime. We got your 6 at 6. Now here's your host, Shad Turner of Veterans Unite Podcast and the People's Patriot Project. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of We Got Your 6 at 6. I'm Shad Turner from Veterans Unite. We've got Mark Peterson and Andrea Eichmann from the People's Patriot Project with us. And we've also got some great guests lined up for you. We've got Michael Hood from Help the Veteran Standing in Front of You. And we've got our musical guest who is Scott D. Tyler. And you're going to totally enjoy everything we got going on tonight. But first, we have to start the show off right. We have to start it off with the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you can stand, please stand. If you're wearing a hat, please take it off. And let's get ready to say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Look at that. We got everybody on tonight.
Scotty!
Hey.
We got a full house. All the crews here. Tammy Schroeder's online. Oh, man. Apparently there's a little technical difficulties and our radio station's not up and rolling right now. We'll figure that piece out. But normally we have a little intro of who's playing on our radio station when we start. And we're really excited because hopefully we'll get Mr. Taylor set up on the radio station here soon so you can hear his craft as well. But our network has allowed us so many awesome opportunities, and we are so excited. Ryan Schultz, good to have you here, brother. Always here supporting us. And he's actually even brought his girlfriend into the mix. Ryan Schultz has branded his Bass Slayer boat for the People's Patriot Project, and we greatly appreciate that.
Wait, can I ask, did you just say his girlfriend is his Bass Slayer boat?
No, that's not what I said.
That's the way it came out, but yeah.
Ryan, we're going to have a chat about that. I know she's got a name.
I don't know. So that's a no offense meant, gosh, thanks, Andrea. If that came out that way, I greatly appreciate it.
It's the walleye slayer.
It is a walleye slayer. And during certain days, it's supposed to be the
Sturgeon.
The Sturgeon Slayer. Hey, do you guys have sturgeon down in Texas?
No.
No sturgeon down there?
No, that's too northern.
Their faces.
Catfish, crappie, sunfish, stuff like that.
Oh, Ryan, putting that boat into hibernation only means it's going to snow tomorrow. So
no, it's so sad.
Thanks for all you fishermen that are out there doing silly things with your boats this time of year. I won't say what I was going to say. Anyway, we were talking about our network, and we do want to showcase one of our amazing, all the musicians that come on to the People's Patriot Project, our Patriot Playtime. We got your 6 at 6, are outstanding, phenomenal, not only human beings, but musicians. And one of the main reasons why we have Mr. Scott D. Taylor in our audience today, not our audience, but as a performer here, is because of the amazing relationship that he has with Miss Jen Ford. And I saw an amazing set that they had today. And so we're just going to give you a little taste of Jen Ford right off the bat because we love her to death. And we also have Jared Still. And they do have a drummer in the mix that we haven't had the chance to meet yet. But if you don't hear this, let me know right away, just because sometimes we have some glitches in this transition. So I apologize. But here's Jen Ford.
No audio.
No sound, Petey. Do you have to load it up and share your sound again?
I had it all ready to go. We'll do it one more time.
It'll work. It'll work.
Night falls and I'm alone. Still, yet chill me to the bone. Ooh. When you turn down your rain, yeah, you see it right from my head. Hey, blue on black, tears on a paper, I push on the shove when it don't mean much. Look on Jack, match on fire, go dance eyes, sitting there and such. Whisper on the stream, running down the chain of things, doesn't bring you back. No, 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 no. Blue on black. Blind. Oh, now I see. True lies in between. Wrong, no, it can't be undone. Oh, you see it from the tip of your tongue. much. Jump on Jack, man's on fire. For their size is the dead man's touch. Whisper on the scream, running off the chain thing doesn't bring you back. No, 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 no. Blue on black. Hey, blue on black. Tears on paper, push on the shove when it don't mean much. Double on that, match on the fire. On their side, he's a dead man's touch. Whisper on the scream, running off the chain of pain. Nothing bring you back. No, 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 no. Blue on black. Oh, blue on black. Baby, 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 blue on black. Oh. Thank you so very much.
It's
That
always easier to hear when I got the microphone on. We are so blessed to have Jen in our network, and just the amazing drive she has, her work ethic, and her just go get it. And she knows how to wreck a tambourine, and she knows how to wreck her hand every day that she plays it. And she just Scott, you know Jen. You want to share any points of view you have with Jen and tell us a little bit about that history?
Jen, she's all right. No, Jen is like my sister. We go all the way back to about the mid-2000s, like maybe around 2006. I was in Germany working over at Tompkins Barracks, being the Seaburn NCO for the transportation battalion over there. But the You Sure Band and Chorus, their guitar player was getting ready to leave. And so they heard about me and they called me up and it was like, hey, we want you to come audition because we need a guitar player. Our guy's about to go. So I said, sure. I went over there. I didn't even tell my first sergeant. I just took off. Because if I knew, if I'd have told him I had to go, he wouldn't have let me. So I just took, so I was just like, hey, whatever. I grabbed my dress, my class A's, because you know you got to audition in your class A's. So I went over there and they was like, oh yeah. So they cut my orders and I reported over there, and then Jen was one of the vocalists. So we actually toured and played music together in Germany.
That's really cool. Well, and it's because of Jen that we got the awesome opportunity to have Scott come on our show tonight, and we started reaching out to him. It's been a while. The nice problem we're having right now is that we are like legitimately stacked up on both musicians and guests for a good chunk of time. Better knock on wood because, but it's awesome having you here, brother. And this isn't our general format. We're just kind of going. We're glad to be back, and we've had a little. It's not been a hiatus because we've been running our tails off, and it's been absolutely freaking phenomenal. Running between doing our events here, having Scotty up here, and then running down to Texas the next week, and seeing Shad down in Round Rock with the OP Veteran Vet Fest, and just all the amazing, and then just to realize Scott is about 30 minutes away from where we were this last weekend. So,
absolutely.
And Michael, we didn't get a chance to do pre-show. Where are you located, brother?
Fort Worth.
Fort Worth. So again, we saw Adam Berry this weekend. He's a Fort Worth musician. that was down at the OP Vet Fest. And gosh dang it, I think we're going to end up in Texas, Andrea. I do. All of these Texans, man, they know how to do it right. And it's not that we're trying to get one geographic area, but it's just those guys down there, I am just enthralled. And I do want to do a shout out real quick, and then we'll let Andrea do her news for the week. But Bobby Withrow, you're making us all look bad, dude. You are out there kicking it, dog. He's with Texas Fallen, and I was reading a story today, and then he even does a shout out to us about being boots on the ground, helping. And Bobby Withrow is, we're not minimizing anyone else's efforts or anything, but that is our shout out for this week. Bobby, you do your thing and you do it well. I don't think there's a person in. Do you guys know Bobby Withrow? Michael, do you know Bobby Withrow?
I don't know it.
Okay. Scott, do you know Bobby Withrow? So this is really weird because I'm pretty confident Bobby Withrow knows everyone in the state of Texas. And so I don't know how this has happened, but we'll get those connections created.
Did you mention he's Texas Fallen?
I did mention that.
Okay, just want to make sure. You're talking fast. I might have missed it.
I know. Well, I gotta get the show over fast because Yellowstone's on tonight, so I gotta make sure I'm ready, sitting in my seat with my stogie. I get my cowboy hat on, and we'll watch Yellowstone tonight as the premiere. So
that's not what.
That's not true.
You get excited every time you talk about Bobby. Don't lie.
You're probably right. Andrea, what's going on?
Dude, here we go. So in addition to just hustling back from Texas with OP Vet Fest last week, which I think I finally feel like my feet are on the ground again and we're kind of back in order. And we have our board meeting coming up on Wednesday. So we have a Christmas family meeting tomorrow. We got Scotty paying me back for everything and hopefully paying Mark back for everything. Anyway, not personally, but for the project. You guys, we have, so I have a few things here, and this one's kind of in retrospect because of Mental Health Awareness Month, October, I think it was the first full week in October. I'm always looking for things to share about progressive things in the first responder world. And I found down in Osceola County, Florida, officers, firefighters, and paramedics from across Central Florida came together. And this was Tuesday, that first week in October, to discuss the often overlooked topic of mental health in their professions. And honestly, I think that's pretty progressive, that right there in their departments and in their local area. So as part of Mental Health Awareness Week, Osceola Regional Medical Center hosted a summit designed around the challenges that first responders face daily. Claudia Swanger is the director of community outreach at the hospital, organized the gathering to help attendees understand the importance of mental health. So the whole area is getting involved, and it's very cool. One of the things we focus on is that mental health is just as important as physical health, Swanger said. It's okay to reach out for help. It's okay to not have good days and just to take care of themselves. Swanger said the coronavirus pandemic has added even further stress to first responders over the last 18 months. It has definitely increased their anxiety, depression, stress, and just trauma in general. For some, it gets to the point that they can't manage it anymore. Alex Vasquez, an Orange County firefighter, shared his story of seeking help. It was a dive incident that I freaked out underneath. I had a flashback to another dive incident that was 10 years prior, he said. Afterwards, I just started having this weird panic attack, some palpitations in my chest, and sweaty palms driving by the scene. Vasquez sought treatment through therapy and encouraged those at the summit to help others who may be struggling. So, keep that battle buddy presence there as well. So I found that to be super positive for last month. And then coming up, so November 10th, Wednesday, is Marine Corps birthday. It's the 246th birthday. One question that was out there is, do Marines have two birthdays? And so the Corps does technically have two birthdays. A lesser known fact is the Marine Corps was disbanded in 1783 after the Revolutionary War, and for 15 years it didn't exist. And then they brought it back. And so, yeah, they kind of have two birthdays. And then you probably all know November 11th, Thursday, is Veterans Day. And so this is the anniversary of the signing of the Armistice Treaty, which ended World War I, and is also a day to thank military veterans for their service. I know that every other year we get to do it in our school, in our town. So when I say our school, the high school usually gets precedence, but every once in a while the middle school gets to have the VFW, local VFW and Legion, and any veterans that can join. That's the day that I realize how many veteran families or active duty families or first responder families we have actually in our school, which touches my heart because, we're always looking out for the families as well. So figure out what you got going on for Veterans Day and go be a part of it.
There's a piece I've been reading a lot of posts concerning Veterans Day, and there's one that is I'm going to call it viral. I mean, I'm going to call it viral. It is what it is. It's up there a lot. I'm going to tell you right now that just because you hear the word veteran, I don't want you to think of the words broken, disabled, or damaged. Get rid of that. Get rid of it. I know of some very strong individuals on the screen right now that are all veterans that are not broken. They're not damaged. And for myself, and I'll speak for myself, that service was mine. A lot of people want to thank me for my service, and I try not to brush them off, and that's rude. I'm not a jerk. Their heart's in the right spot when they're saying thank you for your service. But I will tell you right now, 100% of everything I did in serving my country was because it's something that I wanted to do. I knew what I was getting into, and I would do it all over again if they would allow me to get in there at the weight I'm in and the bad back I have and all the other things that are going on. I would go do it all over again. Do we have some that are struggling? 100%. Because, and we do fight this narrative a lot. Well, you knew what you were getting into. And I will 100% disagree with that statement. No one ever really thinks about holding the hand of someone who's taking their last breath, of watching your battle buddy take a round and having to comfort him as he's taking his last breath. And that doesn't happen for everyone. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I just want you to know what an honor it is to serve. And Veterans Day is a day to honor those who have served. I don't walk around and I don't look for my discounts. I don't give two bees. I was going to swear in there, so beeswax was the best thing I could come up with. I care less about your discounts because it's my service. It's mine. You can celebrate with me. I don't know how everyone on the screen feels about their service, but that was mine. I enjoyed it. I'd continue to do it. That's why the People's Patriot Project is here. It is the opportunity to continue to serve. And I feel like I'm on my little box right now, and that's okay because it's the right message. And if you want to continue to serve, check us out. If you never had the chance to serve because you had flat feet or asthma or it wasn't in the cards or you had bad grades in high school or whatever, check us out again. There is a lot of things that need to be done.
Wait, can I jump in on your podium and just say, as the representative of the civilian world on the screen here, I read something and it stuck with me. And so the best way to say thank you is to act and do in a manner that shows that you're worthy of what they fought for. I mean, every day I wake up and I am thankful that I wake up in the country I live in, and I know straight up why and where and how I get to have these freedoms. And so live a life that shows you're worthy of what they fought for.
Well, and only because I'm ramped up a little bit right now, which happens sometimes and doesn't always
grief,
happen. But
Peterson.
I know, but I'm telling you right now,
just
here's the deal. And I've had this conversation with everyone that's on the screen. We don't have political conversations on our show, and we don't represent any political side whatsoever. but spitting, standing on our flag is not that representation Andrew just talked about. That flag, which so many have actually pulled out of the mud, pulled out of the blood, pulled out of the water, that flag represents a country that has resiliency. And I had some just amazing conversation with Mr. Taylor before the show started. He came on an hour early, and we just sat and had just amazing dialogue on a number of platitudes there, and that's not even the right word, but platitudes, gratitude. We got this, brothers and sisters. Across this country, we got this. And we are going to move forward, and we're going to make our country a better country because we know what that value is. And I can tell you, just in the conversation with Scott, it was just, I don't know. It helps me bring me back to my center and realize that everything we're doing is the right thing. I praise you, Mr. Taylor, for the conversation we got to have. And that was our conversation. No one else gets to be part of that. And someday maybe they'll get to hear more truth. There was a lot of truth being spoken, and we appreciate that. So, all right. Normally we go with our guests and then we go with our musician, but I just think for sake of time and where we're at, and we're already blown away a half hour, and I can't believe that already. Derek Iozio, love you, man. Love you. Thank you for your support, and thank you for bringing all the people that you bring to have conversations with us. So, Scott, I got two Scotts on here. We got Sexy Scotty Sexton, and then we got Scott D. Taylor. Mr. Taylor.
Hey, what? I can be sexy too?
Hey, we can share the sexy, brother. We can share.
All right.
There's enough sexy to go around.
Yeah.
Tell us about what you do, brother, and then let's roll one of your songs here real quick.
Well, I'm, like I said earlier, I don't know if I said this or not, but I retired from the Army in 2014. And after that, most of my time was devoted to my kiddo, my son. Like I said, I was single parenting, and started getting involved in the local music community around here, and slowly established myself, and played with a couple of groups. I started my own group, and then got recruited to play lead guitar for another band. So I'm currently in 2 different projects. And I also do a lot of solo work. And that's what life has been like for like the last 4 or 5 years. It's basically all I do. If I'm out doing something, I'm making music. And if I'm at home doing nothing, I'm making music. It's my life.
I love it. I love it. After hanging out with these musicians, I'm learning that's what that's a driving force, and it's amazing.
It is, and in Texas, it's easy to do. You can accidentally trip and fall into another musician. It's just so many of them around here,
I can name drop all day long, and 90% of them will be from Texas, and it's an amazing culture down there, and thank you for being part of that and recognizing. I've got Laws of Attraction up and Love Endures. Which one you want to roll with?
Let's do Laws of Attraction first.
All right. Any backstory to Laws of Attraction?
Not really. I just wanted to make a cool song.
Yeah, love it.
Fair enough. So we got Scott D. Taylor with Laws of Attraction. The guy tears it apart, man.
That was it fills the ears. Oh my gosh.
I think I might have heard like a third hand coming in there plucking
There's
the chords or something. I'm not sure how you can do that with just two hands.
It can be done.
Too awesome.
That was amazing.
What would you say? I mean, for us, and I'm kind of preferencing some pre-show conversations. What would you say is your primary influence to your music craft?
For this particular song or in general?
You go with both.
Well, for this song, every song starts with a premise, an idea, or whatever. It doesn't matter what inspires you. You get an inspiration from somewhere. And since I'm a big fan of different cultures, and especially traditional music from different cultures, so I wanted to make something just a little aggressive, but I wanted to incorporate a lot of traditional Japanese music in there. And I know you heard it because I love ancient Japanese music. I love all ancient types of music from any culture. It's so much better than today's music for me. You know what I mean? Whether it's Irish folk songs or African rhythms, whatever it is, if it's old, it's very cultural. That's what I like, because that music was being made with 100% emotion. There was just wood and strings, and they made their instruments. There's nothing electronic. There's no gimmicks, no gadgets. It was real people making real music, and I like to try to pull that and mix it with my stuff and pretend like I'm doing something. I don't know.
So there was a conversation about, and I'm like, are there some, maybe I hear stuff and it's not real, but I'd asked you prior to the show, I said, are there riffs, ideas, concepts in here that are related to the Asian culture? And straight up, boom, right off the bat, it was like, yeah, there's a little bit of, and thanks for going into depth on that. So hang with us, Scott, because there's more we want to hear from you and what you're doing. But I do want to bring Michael, Mr. Hood, into this conversation. He's with Help the Veterans, standing right in front of you. Reached out to us a couple months ago and said, hey, let's have this conversation. Let's do what it is. I love the passion in the name of the conversation. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to put a spin on this, but we're going to let you talk about your mission, and then I'm going to talk about some of the pieces that I don't think you're missing. I don't think the rest of the world understands some of the pieces. And so go ahead and tell us about your mission, brother.
Yeah, I enlisted in the Guard at first. I was a senior in high school, so my first semester when I turned 17, had my parents sign papers. I went to basic training the weekend after graduation, spent 9 years in the Guard, went to Desert Storm. Then I turned around and enlisted active duty. I became a cook. I was in the Army for 20 years, retired in 2012. I was in Desert Storm, Iraq 3 times, Afghanistan once. And after I got out of the military, I wanted to keep giving back to my veteran buddies and stuff, because as I got closer to my retirement time, I knew I had heard from my own soldiers that got out, the struggles and difficulties that they were having. So I wanted to find a way to plug myself back into the veteran community. When I moved back here to Texas after retiring at Fort Stewart, Georgia, I got a hold of a guy, and he was a Army guy. And I told him I was a mess sergeant. He said, can you run my food line this weekend at the Veterans Day Festival? I said, sure, no problem. I went out there and did that. And I did stuff like that off and on for the last 7-8 years. And then last year when COVID hit, I decided that I needed to find a way to connect veterans. And with us having all our meeting places shut down, VFW, American Legion, whatever else civic group you were involved in. So I came up with Help the Veterans Standing in Front of You Facebook page. And I currently have 24,000 followers. and I do a weekly blog on any topic. I've talked everything from suicide to when you get out, what's it like, to what do you do when a civilian is moving too slow in the kitchen and you can't throw anything at them, to anger management, to everything. I'm involved in 2 support groups that I facilitate right now as a peer support specialist, and that is my main emphasis now, because I want to be the go-between between the veteran and mental health therapy with a therapist, licensed therapist. I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm a certified peer specialist, so I can't prescribe treatment or medication, but I can listen to you, and I'll walk the same roads that my veteran buddies and sisters have walked, and I can understand better than a therapist can because I've been there, and I fought those battles. I do suffer from mental health. I was diagnosed with mental health, anxiety and depression after my first tour in Iraq in 2004. Spent my last 8 years on active duty fighting the mental health stigma of trying to get me to resign my commission and get out, which I did not do. I let them know that nothing had changed in the way I did things. They just may look a little bit different in my mind. And so that's one of the things that I am very much very much part of my life is being a mental health advocate. As you said, with the veteran and being broken or whatever, it's the same thing with me with mental health. The mental health veteran is not broken. They're just different. And I want to be able to convince my other brothers and sisters who have been told that all their life that they're broke. I need to tell them, I don't have to fix you. You're okay. And so let's talk. And I've helped several people over the last year through Facebook, interacting with them on instant messenger and stuff. And I'm looking forward to just a really excited 2022.
I love it. There's so many words that you speak that are relatively very close to the same verbiage pieces that we use all the time. And this is no surprise to the rest of the world. It might be a surprise to people that are hearing right now, but Andrea and I are both school teachers in our world. And we came across this piece, I'm going to say it's been about 12 years now, where the focus on mental health and meeting the needs of the student, which should have been something that's happened all the length of time in history, they will go to the nth degree, which is good stuff. This is to accommodate the needs of people that see the world through different lenses. And at zero time will I argue with that statement. But we also need to realize we've got how many years prior to that we didn't necessarily accommodate those needs for adults and for people that were young and now have gone into the adult world and now have gone and saw traumas that most people don't see and now have gone and experienced and done things outside of their family and their close network and found a way to function as an organization outside of, I mean, it's plethora piled on. And you expect these people to function on a normal level. And the thing is, they, for the most part, have learned to do that. But they've done that with a lot of detriment to themselves, only in the fact that they covered it up. Because you use the word stigma, it's bad if you're a soldier, if you're that clean-cut, all-American guy wearing that shiny uniform, with their, dress right dress and haircut nice and tight and neat and this and that and your boots polished nice. Well, they don't polish boots anymore, but I don't know what they do in the military anymore because they don't polish boots. But that's another subject matter, all for another time. But we haven't allowed any of these people who have experienced something above and beyond the opportunity to function. And like you said, I praise you for not taking that decommission and moving forward and working through that. And And I'm telling you right now, if there's anyone in this world listening to this show right now, and you've come onto that piece, please let us know. We do have advocates. I have people that I can call right now and put into your into your yard and accommodate and help take care of you in a proactive, positive, needed, personal way. It doesn't make you less of who you are and what you are. So one of the things I wanted to say is taking care of the I'm not going to attack the name of your organization because that's not but for so many years we've used OD Green or OD or Decampify, and I don't even know if that's a real word. I just kind of made it up. Be impressed with that. We haven't allowed people to see, because here's the deal. When you're in the public, you don't wear your uniform because you don't want to be seen doing things. When you're in the public, you don't wear your turnout or your bunker gear or any of that because that's not your job. So you don't know when that firefighter, that EMS, that police officer, that soldier is standing in front of you. And that's why we've created the oxymoron of our green here, and we will make sure that anyone wants to be represented and be seen, you will be seen because you are here. And again, that's not an attack on you. I don't think our lay people, and if you're offended by the word lay people, then come join the People's Patriot Project and you can be part of the mission. I don't think our lay people understand who the people are who have served. And that service comes in so many different colors. It comes in so many different levels. It comes in so many different opportunities. And I think we need to celebrate. And that's why we also do what we do. We celebrate those who have served. And I haven't grown tired of that. I got Scotty, Shad, and Andrea here. I don't want to put Michael and Scott on the. Have you grown tired of celebrating people that serve yet? No.
No.
Well,
Every day, every day people, like few quotes of it, every day should be Veterans Day. And to me, every day is Veterans Day. I talk to veterans every day. I offer words of encouragement to them. And I tell them, hey, you're okay. There's nothing different about you. They just don't know what the difference is, and they don't understand it. And they don't understand our fiber, our DNA, and that's why when people are getting closer to getting out, that's why I want to reach out to them people to get them back into the civilian world, not to help them necessarily understand it or whatever, but to know that things are going to be different and it's okay because we do things at a different level, a different speed, a different intensity and everything. And you just have to find your niche wherever you are. You don't have to be badass anymore. You don't want to. You can be low key, and just get stuff done, but you get it done the way you're used to getting it done, and it's better than what they're expecting, I never thought that I would be working 100% with veterans, but, after last year I got 100% disabled and I'm retired. That's enough money for me to take care of my family. So I am doing what I have probably was supposed to be doing a long time ago, but now I can do it and I'm not shortchanging anybody.
I appreciate that so much. And thank you for being the amazing advocate that you are. It's funny because as you say that, there's a lot of tiny little funny jokes that I can conjure in my head. And sometimes I have to stop myself only in the fact that I'm not a very serious person all the time because I like to screw around, mess around, have fun, enjoy life, which is all part of it. And, we like to cap on each other when it comes to different branches. Like you were saying that, and I was like, yeah, as long as you weren't in the Navy or the Air Force, this is all good, which is not true at all. And I don't like doing that because sometimes at some point someone takes a negative. Trust me, I'll find a way to joke around, have fun, and have a good time. But we don't need to tear each other down. And I do know there's those pieces, whether you're a combat veteran, non-combat veteran, whether you're a deployed veteran, non-deployed veteran, and there's all these rules and stipulations and expectations. It's like, stop it. Just stop it. Let's just, you know what? I want to go to a barbecue and eat good food, drink good beverage, whatever that looks like, and listen to some great music. That's what I want to do. I got to do that the last 2 weekends in a row. Go someplace, listen to good music, eat good food, and hang on people and put my big old fat paws around people and enjoy life and watch and giggle while people get gobbled up by fire ants down in Texas.
Mark, I think one thing as a nonprofit that we need to work on is creating a veteran translator, an app that we can give to all of these civilians, because people look at us and see the way that we talk and think, hey, this guy's angry. No, we're not angry. It's just the tone that we're used to talking to each other, and we understand each other when we say, hey, get your ass in your own lane when someone's messing with your stuff, things like that. We're not being mean. We're not yelling at people. We're just trying to communicate, and it's not always understood that way by civilians.
You should get the blessing of having this and being a school teacher and a coach that has a loud voice. Because I have a coach's voice that can get out there.
Yeah.
For some people, that's yelling. For me, it's coach's voice.
Just talking, yeah.
Just talking, and yeah.
I'm just talking in all caps.
Sorry.
I'm just talking in all caps.
Exactly.
Well, don't do that with Andrea because she has problems with me.
Okay.
Not that I've ever done that to Andrea, but
we use the big crayons when we talk. We don't use
we
use big crayons.
So you're a Marine.
No, I was an Army, but we still like crayons.
So I was a gun bunny, and one of the most unique opportunities I had was moving from the guns into the 6th grade social studies class. When you're talking about big booms and big things that go boom and things that if you really mess up can go even bigger boom, things have to be done really quick. And that, so there was a transition for Mr. Peterson in the 6th grade. It's like kindergarten cop. Remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger was in kindergarten? It was a little bit of the same thing, except the trauma expectations weren't quite as. And I know that I'm taller than Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I might be a few pounds bigger than he is. Maybe not as buff, but 6th graders and Mr. Peterson. Yeah, I didn't get fired from that position. But they found a different spot for me real quick, and that worked out.
See, the only difference between you and Arnold is he carries his in a 6-pack. You're a bigger man. You carry it all in a keg.
We can go with that. Michael, how can we support you, brother?
Well, just let people know about my page and about what I do. If you have veterans out there who are not walking up to a therapist and they want somebody as a go-between and somebody that can talk the mental health talk with them, but only in our language and not in the therapy language, then we can, I would love to help them. They can instant message me on my Facebook page and get a hold of me that way. Like I said, I'm getting a larger footprint as we go down the road. And, I'm becoming involved in more organizations who are figuring out that peer support is a good thing to have in their arsenal. And so just like like I said, a lot of people think peer support is something big, but it's what we did in the military with our soldiers all the time and what we did with each other if we were leaders. and it just became it's just like I told people, it's the exact same thing I did when I was in the Army, except I'm not wearing a uniform, so.
Greatly appreciate it. Love having you here. Is there any social media pieces that we can put up online to make sure that we get people heading in your direction?
No, I'm good. Like I said, just have them look me up on the Facebook page, and you'll get directed over there, and then I'll get a message, and I'll send it back out to them. And like I said, I've helped people basically all over the world because Facebook didn't have a limit. So I've helped people in Europe, and I've helped people in Korea, and helped people in the States. So that's the neat thing about having a social media platform, is you're not limited by your state.
I greatly appreciated it. And again, the biggest piece here is if you're concerned about the stigma, if you're concerned about, I got a Facebook user out there. It might be someone from your camp because they just threw up your Facebook page.
Okay.
And I'd love to know who our user is. Every once in a while we get connected. Definitely a cheerleader for Mr.
It might be Derek. You had him a few weeks ago.
Mr. Iozio. It is. He just.
It is him. Yay.
Yeah, me and him are friends. We have a group together during the week, so it's Derek.
So I talked about Bobby Withrow earlier, but Derek Iozio is another one of the dudes that just gets it done. There's zero talk. It's all walk. Either you. This is Scotty's favorite because one time I said to it, I said it in general, and he's like, "Don't talk to me that way." I'm like, jump on board and get the hell out of the way. And it might have been a little different verbiage. Is that, are you talking to me that way? I'm like, no, I'm saying it in general. Just relax, man. Let's go. This snowball is not going to stop for anyone, and that's the blessing that we've had. I just want again, and I want to celebrate it. We've said it a couple times, but 2 weekends ago we did our 2-day event, Come Out of the Storm on Friday, and our Rock and Chuck on the Ruck, Chuck, and Roll. Sorry, Ruck, Chuck, and Roll on Saturday, and I was out of gas. And me and Andrea were sitting there looking at each other that Sunday morning, and we're like, "Let's cancel the show," which we've never in 24 months now, close to. We're short. 21 months.
Okay.
21 months we have not missed a show. And we've actually even had some supplemental shows and some mid shows, which reminds me, everyone be prepared for the first Tuesday of December. We will be putting on an event. It will be our Given Tuesday event, and we'll probably be bringing on a bunch of artists just to let you guys here showcase. Scott, I'm going to invite you, brother, if you're available on that first Tuesday of December. And we'll just have a day where maybe I have Jen Ford show up and you guys can do a little bit of a gathering piece there, whatever. We'll make it all work. Anyway, I'm all over the place. Yeah. Squirrel. Our fans said, "Where's the show?" And the messages kept just blasting. And
that's where you were going.
I might have been taking a little bit of a nap at that point. And the message, I get up and look, and I can't even count the number of messages. Where's the show for tonight? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And someone came and shook my big toe and said, "Hey, you got a show on right now?" Because Andrea took the reins and got the show going. And what a blessing, man. All of you are freaking amazing. And I appreciate all you that are there and wanting to make a difference in the lives of our veterans and first responders. And thank you for letting us be that vehicle to help kind of push this bad boy, I was going to say bitch, move this thing forward. I'm a little wiry right now. I'm getting there. Let's bring on Scott Taylor. Now, Scott, you said you had the option. This show is not an hour-long show, just so you know. We do say it is. The people got to go, whatever. I've got one song in queue for you, but you said you wanted to do a live song yet tonight.
Yeah, play the other one.
Play the other one?
Yeah, play the one you loaded up because it's
okay.
It's going to speak more to you than I would do live. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, fair enough. And we're not going anywhere. Stay here. We're going to play Mr. Taylor's song here real quick. And well, not real quick, as long as it takes, but then we will we'll go to closing, and we just praise everyone for being here and enjoying what we're doing. Don't go anywhere. This is Love Endures by Scott D. Taylor. I can sit and listen to that the whole time, knowing that there is something bigger than me, something that is greater than me, and knowing that literally there's a mission. I mean, and I don't want to hijack your music there, but there is. It gives me the opportunity to look and seek through. It's like a soul searching piece, and that's I'm finding my person in there, and looking past that and saying, "My God, it is so much bigger than who I am." And I thank you for your craft, man. That's I can sit and listen to that for a good chunk of time, and not Andrea. I'm not going to throw her under the bus, but throw her under the bus. She's like, "There's no words to this stuff," and I'm like, "There's not, man. Let the guy." She's good. Your microphone's not on, Andrea.
Why do you not have my microphone on? You put a tone into my question. I just wanted to make sure we had the right track.
Oh, fair enough.
Yes.
That's the wrong track, because sometimes you don't need words.
And definitely not in that. Yeah.
If I can relay an emotion, I mean, if what I do translates musically with no words, then my job is done. I mean, I did a good job.
A great job.
You can, if the emotions you have come remotely close to the ones I was having when I wrote it, that's the mission. For you to feel what I feel when you listen to that track.
This is going to sound very cliche. I'm a different person because I just listened to that last song, and I found something. I found something in that song. It was spiritual for me, and again, I think that's all we need is to find a purpose, a reason, and a cause. Thank you. Thanks for everyone for being here tonight. It is a true message of what we're doing is the right thing, and we keep moving forward. We are a tiny bit over our time, which is okay, because if we ever go into subject matters that we think are important, I think we went into an hour and 40 minutes one time because it was that important. And again, during our show, sometimes people call in, message in, and need help. The other night, we were talking with Scotty with something, and he was dealing with a veteran first responder. And that is just so awesome. So awesome. I'm in awe at this moment, and I'm just kind of speechless other than rambling. Anything in closing, guys?
Nope.
This is an opportunity to serve. The People's Patriot Project is. Everyone has an invite. It's collaboration. It is not a dictation or dictatorship. We choose not to monopolize any pieces of it. It is an opportunity to truly put your skin in the game and put your money where your mouth is. If you really want to believe in a cause that takes care of people, believe in a cause that takes care of people that took care of you first. And that's what we do. I'm a little feisty right now, so it's probably
settle down. I don't know. What'd you eat? Gosh.
I ate some grape juice, I think. We appreciate everyone that came on tonight. We've seen some new faces. We've seen some old faces, and we appreciate each and every one of you. We want to celebrate your lives, and we want to celebrate your lives doing things that is meaningful to a gigantic number of our population in our country. Thanks for everything that you do. We can't do what we do without you. Patriot Pride. You can. We do have a post show. If you're interested in being part of the post show, just reach out to us. We're right here. We're not going to hide. We got our big ugly green out there. Why don't you help the veterans standing right in front of you and we also believe in our first responders as well. So we're here. Thanks to our guests that are being on here. Hope you have found this as eventful as we have found it, and that hopefully there's a place for it in your life and in your world as well. Patriot Pride.
Thank you for having me.